There's not enough hours in the day to watch all the playoff games on TV, but I am watching all the playoff games on TV. Let's talk NHL hockey. I did make the comment about the LA Kings having receipts in their pocket.
Yes, you did.
To pay back the Edmonton Oilers. How about the Kings? Kings have poured 11 goals past Stuart Skinner, the Edmonton goaltender, in 2 games to the point they pulled him last night. Kings are up 2-0. Series is going back to the Great White North. Tell you what, Edmonton's got all kinds of problems. Skinner is fighting the puck. Skinner goes down way too much. Edmonton's defense is pathetic in terms of clearing people from in front. They hit the pipe once. There were 3 or 4 empty nets that the Kings missed getting shots on. Hell, the Kings could have had 9 or 10 goals last night, and they had to pull Skinner. Now, I mean, Edmonton's, they got a real big problem going home, because I'll guarantee you that fan base up there, they're asking a question, why are we playing this guy? This guy's reverted back. He's really scuffling and struggling, but I'm not sure what the coaching staff's alternative is. That's probably a journeyman backup. What are you going to do with a journeyman? Kings are playing really well. Kings are up 2-0 in that series. Anaheim Ducks beginning the process to find a new coach after hitting the eject button on their old coach. Interesting name, Rick Tocchet, who has become a free agent because Vancouver did not pick up the option, despite the fact Tocchet did a great job in a year and a half with the Canucks. But I've also been told Tocchet is on the East Coast this week, meeting, I was told, with the Flyers, but also going to meet now with the New York Rangers. Tocchet's name has been mentioned. Another name that's been mentioned is college hockey coach Dave Carl, Denver University. He built them into a 1AA power, or 1A power, won a couple national championships. He's got great credentials. David Carl, I think, it could be a finalist for the Ducks job. And here's a wild card name that was mentioned to me, Kevin Dineen. Kevin was a former NHL head coach, coached the San Diego Gulls and did really well, and then left. Coached the New Jersey Devils top team in the American Hockey League. The Utica Comets coached very well. He scored almost 400 goals in his National Hockey League career. Kevin Dineen might get a chance, even though he didn't coach after getting let go in Utica at the start of the season. So the Gulls are going a lot of different directions, talking to people. I don't know what Pat Verbeek's profile of the next head coach is, because he's let Greg Cronin and before that Dallas Eakins, who I thought were 2 really good young coaches in the American League, coaching a young roster. He let both those guys go. So that'll be fascinating to see who that is. Chicago Blackhawks. Do you want to do this? Do you want me to cross the intersection again? Sports, politics, politics, sports. Story broke in Chicago last night. Legendary goaltender Dominik Hasek, Blackhawks, Sabres, phenomenal superstar, European, Czechoslovakian. His life has been threatened by Russia. Hasek spoke out in Czechoslovakia about Putin and about the war on Ukraine. The director of security for Putin threatened Hasek in an interview on the TASS news agency yesterday, in which he told the goaltender, just be careful of what you eat. Be careful of where you go and travel, because he condemned Putin for the 3-year war that's killed all these women and children and all these innocent people. Think about that. The head of the Russian defense system threatens Dominik Hasek in Czechoslovakia. Just absolute amazing story. So, all things hockey. Go ahead, John.
Sounds like a James Bond movie,
Yeah.
We got going on here with that. I mean, that's awful. I mean, it just really is, being threatened by, KGB.
Watch what you eat.
That's
That's the way people disappear in Russia. They die.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a shame. What the hell's going on in this world? Okay. The other 2 I think are interesting. One is the Kings. I'm loving that. I mean, the payback, and, they're up 2-0. So, hopefully they'll win this thing in 4 or 5 games. And that would be nice. But the Ducks thing, to me, with the most interesting thing is that the one candidate from Denver University, and I know they have a really good hockey program, but isn't Denver University, or is it University of Denver? It's kind of this college that we don't normally think about.
Well, they don't play football. and they do have basketball, but hockey has been their calling card forever.
Yeah, so that's the thing is we know them for hockey, but obviously they don't play in any of the power conferences for football. We don't usually see them on the radar for basketball, or really, if at all. So it's interesting that the university is there. I guess academically, it's supposed to be very
Yes.
good. I had from friends of mine that had friends that went there and spoke highly of it. But it's interesting how a university is so good at hockey, but yet so unknown in other ways.
Well, because they don't invest in other things, they have limited resources. There's two schools there that are just like that: Denver University's Pioneers and Colorado College. You know, if you follow college hockey, those two names are normally playing in the Frozen Four, which is the NCAA's version of the Final Four in hockey. They've been champions before. So it'll be interesting if David Carl actually winds up with the job, because he's got great credentials, and he stayed there forever. So interesting storyline there.
Wow. So who's playing tonight? Are the Kings and the Oilers tonight?
No, today's a travel day for the Kings. They play tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. All right.
On we go. Okay,